Most people live their entire lives confined within invisible walls. They go through each day checking boxes, doing what they're told, and never really challenging the limits of who they are. They are born, they live averagely, and they pass on, leaving no significant imprint on the world. And for many, that's okay, but you, if you're reading this, you're not most people. You have a fire inside you that's begging to be unleashed. You have a hunger for more, a craving to rise above mediocrity, and to turn your average existence into a life of fortune, not just in money, but in purpose, achievement, and impact. But the question is, how? How do you go from average to fortune? How do you take your life from a place of routine, comfort, and stagnation to a place of influence, abundance, and success? The answer lies in a path paved with choices, discipline, clarity, and relentless effort. It's not a magic trick or a shortcut. It's a process, a series of steps, each one demanding something greater from you than the last, and if you dare to take those steps, your life will never be the same again. The first step is decision, not just any decision. A real one. Most people never decide. They think they do, but they don't. They say they want success. They say they want change, but when the time comes to act, they freeze. A real decision means cutting off all other options. It means burning the boats so there's no going back. When you decide, truly decide, you create a mental shift. It's no longer a wish or a dream. It becomes a commitment. It becomes your identity. The moment you decide that you will no longer accept average, you begin to raise your standards, and in life you don't get what you want. You get what you tolerate. If you tolerate average, you'll live average. But when you raise your standards, when you say, "This is not who I am anymore," everything begins to change, but the decision alone isn't enough. It must be followed by discipline. Discipline is the bridge between who you are now and who you are destined to become. Fortune is not a reward for talent alone. It is the harvest of discipline. When everyone else is asleep, you're working. When they're partying, you're planning. When they're complaining, you're creating. Discipline means doing what you said you would do long after the mood you said it in has passed. And it's not just about the big things. It's the little things every day compounded over time. You don't need to be extraordinary to start. You need to start to become extraordinary. When you keep showing up, when you keep grinding even when you don't feel like it, you build something stronger than motivation. You build momentum, and once you have momentum, nothing can stop you. But even discipline needs direction. That's where clarity comes in. Most people are busy, but they're not productive. They are moving, but they're not going anywhere. Clarity is power. You need to know exactly what you're chasing, why you're chasing it, and how you plan to get there. You must set goals so precise that they wake you up in the morning with urgency. You need a vision so compelling that it pulls you through your darkest days. You can't just say, "I want to be rich," or "I want to be successful." That's too vague. You need to be specific. How much? By when? Why? What will you do to earn it? What will you give up to gain it? Without clarity, you're just wandering. But when you have a clear target, your actions become focused. You stop wasting time. You stop entertaining distractions. You begin to make progress on what really matters. Still, clarity without courage is just a dream. You need to take bold, uncomfortable action. That's the next step. Courage, the courage to risk, to fail, to be misunderstood, to stand alone. The average life is safe. It's predictable. It avoids risk. But fortune lies beyond your comfort zone. It lives in uncertainty. It hides behind obstacles. And if you want to claim it, you must be willing to move through fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment. Let them come. Let them test you. Courage doesn't mean you don't feel fear. It means you move forward despite it. Every successful person you admire had to take a leap into the unknown. They had to start before they felt ready. They had to go all in when everything inside them screamed, "Wait, don't wait until you feel fearless." Start afraid, start messy, just start. Fortune belongs to those who act. And finally, the last step, the one that brings it all together, is relentless pursuit. Once you've decided, disciplined yourself, gained clarity, and acted with courage, you must never stop. You must become obsessed. The world doesn't reward dabblers. It rewards finishers. It rewards those who keep going after everyone else has quit. It rewards those who fall down 100 times and stand up 101. You must cultivate a work ethic that outlasts rejection, boredom, and fatigue. You must develop resilience so deep that nothing can break your focus. You must fall in love with the process, because the truth is, fortune doesn't come quickly. It comes quietly, slowly, day after day, year after year, and most people give up too soon, but not you. You're different. You've chosen to play the long game. You've chosen to become unstoppable. And here's what will happen. As you walk this path, people will begin to notice. At first, they'll doubt you, they'll mock you. They'll say you've changed, and they're right. You have changed. You're no longer who you used to be. You're not average anymore. You're rising, you're growing, you're building something great. And as time passes, the same people who doubted you will admire you. They'll ask for your secrets. They'll wish they had your courage. And you'll know that it wasn't luck, it wasn't chance, it was the decision, the discipline, the clarity, the courage, and the relentless pursuit that brought you to this moment. Your story is being written right now. Not tomorrow, not next year, now. Every action you take, every thought you think, every habit you build is shaping your destiny. You don't need anyone's permission to become great. You don't need perfect conditions or unlimited resources. You need hunger, you need heart. You need a reason so powerful that giving up is no longer an option. You need to believe, not in the world, not in luck, not in circumstances, but in yourself. Because if you truly believe you can rise, nothing can keep you average. Not your past, not your mistakes, not your fears. You were born to lead, to build, to inspire. But to reach that level, you must step into discomfort. You must chase excellence even when it's inconvenient. You must outwork, outlast, and outgrow every version of yourself that tried to keep you small. The average life is easy. The life of fortune is earned. It's earned through sweat, sacrifice, and self-mastery. It's earned when you're willing to do what others won't, so you can live like others can't. So what will you choose? Will you keep playing small, hiding behind excuses, waiting for the right time? Or will you rise now? Will you draw a line in the sand and say, "This is where I change. This is where I rise. This is where my fortune begins"? Let your life become a masterpiece of determination. Let your actions speak louder than any words. Let your results make the noise. Remember this: no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you your dream. But the moment you take full responsibility for your life is the moment you take control of your destiny. Average is a trap. It's a prison dressed up as comfort. But fortune, it's your liberation. It's the proof that you dared to dream, dared to fight, and dared to live fully. There's greatness in you. It's been there all along. Maybe it's been buried under doubt, pain, or fear, but it's there waiting for you to unlock it, waiting for you to believe, waiting for you to act. You don't have to live a life of quiet desperation. You don't have to settle for scraps when you were born to feast. You don't have to be average when you have the power to become extraordinary. So stand up, lift your head. Look in the mirror and declare, "I am done being average. I am ready for more. I am ready to build my fortune, and I will stop at nothing to get there." Say it every day, believe it every night, live it with every breath. Because when you do, when you truly commit, the world will make room for your greatness. Doors will open, opportunities will appear, and you will look back one day and smile, not because it was easy, but because it was worth it. And as you move forward, every day will test you. Not once, not twice, but continuously. Life will throw obstacles your way just to see if you're serious. The setbacks will come, the doubts will whisper, the failures will sting. But remember, none of those things can defeat you unless you let them. The world doesn't give its rewards to the most talented or the most privileged. It gives them to the most persistent, the ones who show up after everyone else has walked away, the ones who grind when no one's watching, the ones who push past pain, past fear, and past every reason to quit. There will be days when you'll feel like it's not working, when progress is slow and success seems distant. That's when you must double down. That's when your commitment is tested the most. Do not be deceived by temporary silence. The seeds you've planted are growing beneath the surface. Your discipline, your work, your effort, it's all adding up. Every small win is building your momentum. Every challenge you conquer is building your character. You're not just working toward fortune, you're becoming the person who deserves it. This journey will change you. That's the point. You'll lose parts of yourself along the way. Your excuses, your insecurities, your self-doubt. You'll shed the habits and beliefs that kept you average, and in their place you'll gain strength, clarity, and a powerful sense of self-worth. You'll become someone you respect, someone others admire, not because of what you have, but because of who you've become in the pursuit of it. The fortune you're building is not just measured in money. It's in your influence, your freedom, your ability to inspire others. It's in waking up each day knowing that you're living life on your terms, that you're creating, growing, and expanding every single day. That's real wealth, that's true success, and that's what you're fighting for. You'll notice the gap between you and the average will widen. While others are wasting time, you'll be investing it. While they're blaming, you'll be building. While they're sleeping in, you'll be rising early, fueled by vision and purpose. You'll begin to feel different, think different, act different, because you'll no longer be driven by comfort, you'll be driven by mission. And what a mission it is! You're not here to simply exist. You're here to conquer, to elevate, to inspire. Every great leader, every titan of success, every icon of wealth and impact started where you are. Uncertain, unproven, overlooked. But they made a choice to rise, a choice to defy the odds, a choice to step up when it was easier to stand down. And so can you. You were not born to blend in. You were born to stand out, to be bold, to be brave, to live a life so full of fire, so fueled by ambition, that it forces the universe to take notice. But that life isn't handed to anyone. It's carved out through blood, sweat, and resilience. Through late nights and early mornings, through sacrifice and strategy, through heart. You have that heart. You have that spark, and deep down you know it. It's been with you since the beginning, waiting. Waiting for you to stop hesitating and start dominating. Waiting for you to stop second, guessing, and start executing. Waiting for you to stop asking for permission and start creating the life you were meant to live. If you want fortune, you must act like it's already yours. You must walk with the confidence of someone who knows their value. Speak with the power of someone who owns their voice. Work with the passion of someone whose future depends on it, because it does. Your fortune isn't in the lottery. It's not in some once, in a lifetime event. It's in your daily choices, your daily focus, your daily intensity. Some days your motivation will waver. That's okay. You don't need to be motivated every day. What you need is to be committed. Commitment will get you through the days when motivation is absent, and with commitment comes consistency, the most underrated force in success. Consistency turns effort into results. It turns time into transformation. Be relentless, be unshakable, be consistent, and while you chase your fortune, remember, no one owes you anything. The world doesn't care about your potential. It responds to your performance. It responds to what you produce, what you create, what you become. That may sound harsh, but it's a gift, because it means you are in control. It means your fortune is not limited by your background, your resources, or your circumstances. It's limited only by your effort. Start now, not tomorrow, not when you feel ready now. Start with what you have. Start with who you are and grow, improve, adapt. Don't let perfection delay your progress. Don't let fear keep you frozen. You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to take the next step, and then the next, and then the next. Success is a staircase, not an elevator, and every step counts. Along the way, you will evolve. What once scared you will excite you. What once overwhelmed you will empower you. You'll look back and be astonished by how far you've come, not because it was easy, but because you refused to quit. That's the difference, maker. That's the separator between average and extraordinary, the refusal to quit, the decision to keep moving no matter what. Your legacy is being written right now. It's in the effort you give when no one's watching. It's in the integrity you hold when no one's praising you. It's in the standards you set and the goals you chase. One day, someone will look at your life and be inspired by it. They'll say, if they could do it, maybe I can too. That's impact. That's significance. That's fortune. You were never meant for small dreams. You were never meant for average results. You were never meant to be silent, stuck, or scared. You were built to rise, built to break limits. Built to change the game, and the game is yours for the taking. If you're bold enough to play it with all your heart, so go. Chase your vision with reckless belief. Build your fortune with unbreakable resolve. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be persistent. The journey may be long, but the reward, it's beyond anything you've imagined. Because in the end, it won't just be about the fortune you've gained. It will be about the person you've become to earn it. And that, more than anything else, is the real prize. And yes, let's continue. Because your transformation is not complete until it becomes your second nature to fight for the life you want. So let's go even deeper, because this isn't just about hyping you up for a moment. This is about rewriting the very fabric of your life. It's about developing the kind of mindset that will serve you not just today or tomorrow, but for the rest of your life. You see, the world is full of noise. Distractions are everywhere. Social media wants your attention. The world wants you to conform. Society has conditioned you to believe that success is reserved for the chosen few, those born with money, connections, or outrageous talent. But the truth is far more powerful. The truth is, success is reserved for the few who are willing to do what most won't. That's it. That's the secret. You are one decision away from beginning your rise. One commitment away from never returning to the person you used to be. Don't wait for a sign, be the sign. Don't wait for the right time, make this the time. The world doesn't need more people playing it safe. The world needs more people like you. People willing to bet on themselves, even when no one else will. Bet on your grit. Bet on your work ethic. Bet on your ability to learn, to grow, and to adapt. No matter how average your past may have been, your future doesn't have to be the same. You are not your circumstances, you are not your failures, you are not your limitations, you are the author, you are the builder, you are the architect of your future fortune, and yes, you'll face judgment. People will misunderstand you. They'll question your new standards, your hunger, your drive. Let them. Most people are afraid of anyone who reminds them of what they gave up on. Your determination threatens their comfort. Your ambition disrupts their excuses. Don't lower your standards to make them feel better. Don't shrink to fit their narrative. Rise, and rise loudly. Be so focused on your path that their opinions become irrelevant. Be so devoted to your mission that their noise becomes background static. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to become someone who inspires others through action, not words, through results, not promises, through transformation, not explanations. And as you continue down this road, remember that fortune also demands sacrifice. You will have to give things up. Comfort, convenience, the easy way out. You'll have to let go of habits that no longer serve you, relationships that drain you, thoughts that sabotage you. You'll have to do hard things, but every sacrifice clears space for something greater. Every choice you make in favor of your future expands your capacity for greatness. It won't be balanced at first. It won't be comfortable, but it will be worth it. Because nothing tastes better than earning what once felt impossible. Nothing is more fulfilling than looking in the mirror and knowing you didn't quit when it got hard. that you gave everything, that you transformed not just your results, but your identity. And that's what this is really about, identity. Going from average to fortune is not just about changing what you do. It's about changing who you believe you are. It's about becoming the kind of person who doesn't just dream, but executes, not just plans, but finishes, not just works, but wins. When you walk, walk like you own the ground beneath you. When you speak, speak like your words have weight. When you work, work like your name is on the line, because it is. Your name is your brand. Your actions are your proof. Your life is your legacy. What are you going to do with it? Too many people spend their entire existence running from fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of embarrassment. But what if you flipped the script? What if you stopped fearing failure and started fearing mediocrity? What if the real nightmare wasn't trying and failing, but never trying at all? What if your biggest regret one day is realizing that you were capable of so much more, but you let fear steal it from you? Don't let that happen, not to you. You were made for more. You were born to be bold. Everything in your life, every struggle, every setback, every lesson, has prepared you for this moment. You've been forged in fire. Now it's time to rise from the ashes, not timidly, not halfway, but fully, completely, and apologetically. Own your greatness, claim your fortune, and understand this: the universe will not give you what you ask for. It will give you what you fight for, what you demand through effort, persistence, and resilience. So show the world what you're made of. Show yourself who you truly are. This journey is not about arriving at a destination. It's about evolving through every step. It's about unlocking more of your potential every day. It's about becoming so sharp, so focused, so disciplined, that nothing can pull you off course. You become untouchable, not because you never fall, but because you always get back up stronger than before. And when you finally reach that level, when your fortune begins to manifest, not just in money, but in meaning, in mastery, in momentum, you'll look back and realize that every sacrifice, every early morning, every lonely night, every tear, every doubt, it was all worth it. Because you didn't just build wealth, you built a warrior. You didn't just reach goals, you rewrote your destiny. Rise with a mindset so focused, so dialed in, that distractions bounce off you like rubber bullets. Rise with a work ethic so relentless, it becomes a storm that sweeps away every excuse, every limitation, every hesitation. Rise with the belief that you are not here to repeat what others have done, but to build something no one has seen before. The fire inside you is not random. It's your soul telling you that you were made for more, and more will not be handed to you. You must earn it through action, through obsession, through absolute clarity in your purpose. You don't need to chase 100 things. You need one vision, one mission, and the unshakable courage to go after it with everything you've got. The world rewards the focused, the committed, the unwavering. This journey from average to fortune is not just for dreamers, it's for doers. It's for the rare few who are willing to silence the noise, shut out the doubt, and get to work, every single day, whether they feel like it or not. While others talk, they build. While others scroll, they study. While others party, they prepare. This is what separates the many from the few, the broke from the wealthy, the forgotten from the legendary. And you, yes, you are capable of being legendary, not because someone told you so, but because deep down, something in you refuses to settle for ordinary. Something in you craves greatness, not for the sake of ego, but because you want to live this life to the fullest. You want to feel what it means to go all in, to bet on yourself, and to win. Your story isn't over, not even close. The pages ahead are blank, and your pen is ready. What will you write? Will it be a story of compromise and regret? Or a story of grit, sacrifice, and glory? Will it be filled with excuses or execution? Will you wait for the perfect time, or will you make every moment count? Do not wait for anyone to choose you. Choose yourself. Do not wait for a savior. Become one, for yourself, for your family, for your future. The days of being average are over. Average gave you nothing but frustration. Average drained you. Average lied to you. But fortune will build you. It will empower you. It will set you free. But freedom comes with a price, and the price is discipline. The price is sacrifice. The price is doing the hard things when no one is watching. Are you willing to pay that price? Are you willing to go beyond your limits? Are you willing to take every failure and turn it into fuel? That's what it takes. That's the toll. But the reward, it's everything. Imagine the day you wake up with no financial stress. You work because you want to, not because you have to. You move through life with purpose, with options, with freedom. You give to others not just time, but resources, opportunity, vision. That is the life that's waiting for you, but it won't wait forever. You have to claim it, and claiming it doesn't start in some grand moment. It starts now with one decision, then another, and another. It starts when you stop chasing temporary pleasure and start chasing permanent power. It starts when you say, "I am done being average." It starts when you stop breaking promises to yourself, when you say, "Enough." Enough excuses. Enough delay, enough small thinking. You are done playing on the sidelines. You are done living by someone else's rules. You are done being a prisoner of your past, because your future, your fortune, is greater than you can imagine if you're willing to fight for it. So fight with everything you have. Fight through fatigue. Fight through fear. Fight through failure. Every setback is a test. Every challenge is a chance to level up. Use it. Grow through it. Don't waste it by whining or quitting. Use it to sharpen your edge, to harden your resolve, to deepen your hunger. The champions of this world are not the ones who never fall. They are the ones who rise every time they do. Be that person. Be so damn persistent that life has no choice but to give you everything you've earned. Be so consistent that your goals start to chase you. Be so obsessed with progress that you no longer recognize the old you, the average you, the limited you, because the new you, the future you, the fortune-bound you, has no time for playing small. No tolerance for excuses. No space for self-doubt. That version of you is fierce, focused, unstoppable. You wake up with purpose. You grind with pride. You move with discipline. You dominate with humility. And every single day you get closer to the vision. People will wonder how you did it. They'll say you're lucky, that you had help, that it was easy. Let them talk, let them speculate, because they didn't see the struggle. They didn't feel the pain. They didn't carry the burden, but you did. And you carried it with grace, with grit, with the spirit of someone who knew that average was never an option. You'll know the truth. That behind every success was sacrifice. That behind every win was work. That behind every moment of glory was 1,000 moments of grind. And that's the beauty of it. You didn't skip steps. You didn't cheat the process. You earned every ounce of your fortune, and that's why you'll never lose it, because it wasn't given to you. It was forged by you in fire, in failure, in focus. You'll hold onto it with pride, not just because of what it gives you, but because of who you became to get it. So keep going even when it's tough, especially when it's tough, because that's when you grow. That's when the average quit. But you're different. You're built for more. You're wired to win, and no matter what comes, you'll find a way through it, and you will earn it. Not just through talent, not just through ambition, but through an unbreakable will. A relentless refusal to settle for anything less than your best. You see, fortune doesn't respond to wishful thinking. It responds to movement, to decision, to blood, sweat, and repetition. It responds to those who are willing to do the work every single day, regardless of the obstacles in front of them. And you, if you stay true to the mission, will be one of those people. The kind of person who doesn't look for the easy path, but the right path. The kind of person who wakes up before the world is watching and puts in the reps, who studies while others sleep, who prepares while others procrastinate. Because fortune favors the focused, not the distracted. It favors the bold, not the timid. If you want something most people don't have, you must be willing to do what most people won't do. That's the price. That's the blueprint. That's the truth. And once you accept it, the game changes, because now you're no longer trying to be lucky. You're engineering your own destiny. You're building a reality so strong that even failure can't break it. Don't worry about how long it takes. Don't be distracted by the speed of others. This is not a race. This is a war. And wars are won by those who endure, by those who grind when it's boring, who build when no one believes, who persist when nothing seems to be working. That's how you separate yourself. That's how you rise. You see, the climb from average to fortune is steep, and it's lonely. Not everyone will understand your sacrifice. Some will call you obsessed. Some will say you've changed. They're right. You have changed. You've upgraded. You've evolved. You've stopped doing what keeps you small and started doing what builds your legacy. You don't owe them comfort. You don't owe them understanding. You owe yourself greatness. You owe yourself the life you know you're capable of living. The life where your dreams aren't just fantasies. They're goals backed by action, by resilience, by fire. There will be days when the pressure feels unbearable, when quitting seems easier, when the pain feels permanent. That's when you remind yourself why you started. That's when you remember the nights you couldn't sleep because your dream burned so brightly inside you. That's when you look in the mirror and say, I'm not done, not even close. You weren't built to break. You were built to bend, to adapt, to grow. Every challenge you face is a tool for your transformation. Every trial a test of your commitment, and every storm is clearing the way for your rise. And here's the truth most won't tell you. Fortune is not the money, the cars, the status. That's surface level. The real fortune is who you become in pursuit of it. The self, mastery, the belief, the inner power, the mental strength, the emotional discipline. That's the wealth no one can take from you. That's the empire built from within. It's the power to walk into any room and know you belong, not because of what you have, but because of who you've become. It's the confidence to take risks, the courage to chase dreams, the wisdom to turn pain into purpose. That is your true fortune. That is your unshakable edge. And once you taste that, once you realize that you've built something eternal, something untouchable, you'll never go back to the old you, the one who doubted, the one who hesitated, the one who hoped instead of acted. That version of you is gone, buried beneath the work, the hours, the sweat. In its place stands a new force, a new warrior, a new leader. So now what? Now you lead. You lead by example. You become the one who doesn't need applause to move, who doesn't need permission to pursue. You become the example of what's possible when someone chooses to rise. Because that's what the world desperately needs. Leaders who live by action. People who show what greatness looks like in real time. There's no secret sauce, no magic pill. It's effort, it's repetition, it's relentless clarity. That's what it takes, day after day. Even when motivation fades, even when inspiration disappears, discipline stays, commitment stays, the mission stays. So when you wake up tomorrow, don't look for motivation. Look for your mission. Remind yourself of the vision that fuels you, the future you're building, the people you're doing this for, the version of yourself you're becoming. That's the anchor. That's the fire. And when the world tempts you with distraction, with mediocrity, with comfort, you smile and walk the other way, because you've made a vow to become more, to rise above, to trade average for abundance, to turn effort into elevation, to grind until greatness is no longer a dream, but your new normal. This isn't about hype. This is about identity. Who are you when no one is watching? Who are you when it gets hard? Who are you when everything says quit, but your heart says fight? That's the version that builds empires. That's the version that creates fortune. And you, yes, you, are already on that path, one choice at a time. One step at a time. You've started climbing. Now don't stop. Don't slow down. Don't let anything distract you from the vision. Your family may not understand yet. Your friends may fall away. Your old life may try to pull you back. Let it all go, because what lies ahead is greater than anything you leave behind. Your future is waiting. It's not in the hands of fate. It's in your hands right now. So pick up your tools, sharpen your mind, strengthen your body, train your spirit, and build brick by brick, day by day. Blow past average like it never existed. Then rise. Rise until the very concept of average feels like a distant memory. Rise until your work ethic becomes legend, until your vision becomes so clear it drowns out every distraction, every excuse, every voice that ever told you to settle. Because here's the truth. Average is a lie we tell ourselves to feel safe. But you're not here for safety. You're here for significance. You're here to leave a mark so deep that generations will feel your impact. The difference between those who reach fortune and those who fall back into mediocrity is this. Those who win don't negotiate with their potential. They don't ask, "Can I do this?" They declare, "I will." They don't stop when they're tired. They stop when they're done. They don't need approval. They need the mirror, because the person staring back at them is their only competition. Your journey from average to fortune is already in motion. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, progress over pleasure, growth over stagnation, you move closer. Every time you put in the reps when no one's watching, when you push yourself further than before, when you take one more step despite the fatigue, you are building a version of yourself that cannot be broken. Yes, you'll fall. Yes, you'll fail. But failure is not the enemy. Quitting is. Every setback is just a setup for a stronger comeback. Every time you're knocked down is an opportunity to rise even harder. Stronger, wiser, more focused. That's what separates the unstoppable from the rest. They don't stop. They don't surrender. They adapt. They evolve, and they keep moving. You're not here to be liked. You're not here to fit in. You're here to stand out, to rise so high that people can't help but pay attention. Let them talk. Let them doubt, let them laugh, but don't let them stop you, because once the results show up, they'll all ask how you did it. And you'll know you did it by doing what they refused to do. You did it by grinding when it was inconvenient. You did it by investing in your growth instead of wasting your time. You did it by taking control of your emotions, your habits, your direction. You did it by mastering yourself, and that mastery, that's the root of all fortune. True wealth begins within. Because fortune isn't just about what's in your bank account, it's what's in your character. It's what you build inside before it ever manifests outside. You can lose money, you can lose a job, you can lose support. But if you've built yourself into someone who doesn't fold, who doesn't flinch, who doesn't fear the climb, you'll always rise again. That's why this journey is worth it. Not just for the things you'll gain, but for the person you'll become. The person who doesn't break under pressure, who walks into any room with unshakable certainty, who commands attention not by shouting, but by showing, by living the message, by being the proof. There's no more room for the old you, the one who played small, who waited for motivation, who made promises without action. That version of you dies here, and from the ashes rises a force with direction, with fire, with mission. You are no longer someone who hopes. You are someone who makes it happen. And yes, it will be lonely. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Growth always is. But it's a sacred discomfort. The pain of transformation is far more valuable than the comfort of stagnation. You'll lose people. You'll lose parts of yourself. But what you gain in return is far greater. Clarity, purpose, momentum, and power. You'll start to attract a new circle, not people who settle, but people who build, not people who complain, but people who create, people who challenge you to grow, who remind you who you are when you forget, who push you beyond your limits because they see what you can become. That's your tribe, that's your future, and here's the final truth. The world doesn't owe you anything. It doesn't care about your intentions. It cares about your execution. So stop waiting for permission. Stop explaining yourself. Stop holding back. You are capable of building a fortune beyond your wildest dreams, but only if you stop playing by average rules, create your own rules, build your own path, define your own legacy, because you don't get another shot at this life. and every second spent doubting, hesitating, or playing small is a second stolen from your potential. So from this moment forward, burn the bridges behind you. There's no going back. You've decided, you've committed, you're all in, and nothing, absolutely nothing, is going to stop you from rising, because you are done being average. You are ready for the climb. You are built for the top and your fortune, because the truth is, you've already made the most important decision of your life, the decision to refuse average, and from that single decision, everything else unfolds. The discipline, the sacrifice, the endless hours of hard work, they all become non-negotiable, not because someone's forcing you, but because you've tasted the hunger of purpose, and now you can't live without it. There will be days when you question everything, days when it feels like nothing is working, days when the world seems against you, but let me remind you, the moment of greatest doubt often comes just before the breakthrough. The resistance you feel isn't a sign to quit, it's a sign you're close. Keep pushing, keep climbing, because your effort is not being wasted. It's being stored, building energy, building strength, preparing to explode into results. You are not just putting in work. You are building something that will last, something that will echo long after your time, a legacy, a name, a movement, and movements are not built in comfort. They're built in the trenches. In the quiet hours of the morning when you rise while others sleep, in the silent sacrifices no one sees but you feel, in the repeated actions that feel thankless today but will earn you reverence tomorrow. So when your body says stop, let your mind say go. When your fears scream retreat, let your vision whisper advance. And when doubt creeps in, shut it out with action, because you are not the same as you were. You are stronger now, wiser, hungrier. You've endured too much to turn around. The worst thing you can do is look back at the life you left and forget the pain it held. You're not going back there. You've come too far. Let your work speak louder than your words. Let your results silence every doubt. Let your discipline outshine every excuse. While others wait for the right time, you create it. While others look for signs, you become one. And while others fade into comfort, you rise into greatness. Because the 5 steps from average to fortune are not just strategies. They're a code, a warrior code. A set of principles that, when followed with commitment and conviction, reshape your entire reality. And by walking this path, by living this message, you become the kind of person who not only changes their own life, but inspires others to change theirs. Imagine a world where more people rose with this mindset, where people stopped waiting for someone to save them and became their own rescue, where people stopped numbing their potential and started building it, where dreams stopped being whispers and started becoming daily action. That world starts with you, with one person brave enough to rise, brave enough to stand alone if needed, brave enough to be the first domino in a long chain of transformation. And if you stay on this path, if you keep showing up, keep improving, keep evolving, one day you'll look around and realize you've made it, not just to wealth but to peace, not just to success but to fulfillment. You'll wake up free, free from worry, from regret, from the weight of unrealized potential, because you chose to rise. That is the reward, that is the fortune, not the cars, not the clothes, not the applause. Those are just side effects. The real prize is becoming the kind of person who could never go back to being average, because average will never satisfy you again. You've seen what's possible. You've felt what it means to be alive, to move with intention, to build with power, to live with no limits. So the final step is this: pass it on. Not with lectures, not with force, but with example. Be so disciplined, so committed, so extraordinary in your pursuit, that your life becomes a roadmap for others. Be the lighthouse, the example, the proof that greatness is possible when someone chooses it every single day. You've taken the first step. You've pushed through the resistance. You've built the fire. Now keep it burning, fan the flames, because this isn't just a journey. It's a transformation. You're not simply changing what you do, you're changing who you are. Every small act of discipline, every sacrifice, every moment you choose growth over comfort, it's rewriting your identity. You're no longer someone hoping for change, you are change in motion. You are the very embodiment of what it means to defy odds, to bend reality through sheer will and intention, and that transformation. It radiates, you walk differently, you speak with conviction, you carry yourself like someone who has already won inside, because real fortune isn't about the finish line. It's about becoming the kind of person who runs the race like a champion before the medal is ever handed out. You start to realize you don't need to chase what others have because you're building something they can't see. Your fortune is not a replica, it's not borrowed, it's not copied, it's custom, built, tailored to your grind. Shaped by your values, forged in your fire. No one can duplicate it because no one can duplicate your story, your pain, your resilience. You become immune to the noise, while others get lost in comparison, in distraction, in criticism. You stay focused. Because you've tasted the high of progress and nothing else compares. You know what it's like to grow, to stretch, to push beyond limits you thought were real. You've watched yourself evolve in real time. You've seen yourself handle things the old you would have run from. You've stood strong where others fold. So now it's about sustainability. This isn't a sprint. This is a way of life. You no longer live like most people, because you don't want what most people have. You wake up with urgency, you move with clarity, you operate from purpose, and that energy, that hunger, it becomes magnetic. People feel it, they notice, they respect it, but most importantly, you respect yourself. You look in the mirror and see a fighter, a builder, a leader, not a perfect person, but a progressing one. You no longer measure your days by how easy they are, but by how much you grew, and that's a shift most never make. That's how you leave average behind permanently. You fall in love with the process, not the prize, because you understand that who you become on the way to the fortune is the real win. And when it gets dark, when life throws chaos your way, because it will, you don't crumble. You adapt. You find another route. You dig deeper. That's the difference between average and fortune. When most people break, you bend. When most retreat, you attack. When most give up, you gear up. This mindset doesn't just change your bank account. It changes your relationships, your health, your influence, your impact. People begin to trust you more, not because of your words, but because of your consistency, your reliability, your unwavering energy. You've become the person people turn to not because you have all the answers, but because you live the answers. And in that rare space where action meets intention, where discipline meets heart, you find your ultimate reward, peace. Not the peace of passivity, but the peace of purpose. The peace that comes from knowing you're exactly where you're supposed to be, doing exactly what you were born to do, becoming exactly who you were meant to become. You've redefined success. It's not just about external trophies. It's about internal alignment, waking up every day knowing your actions match your vision, knowing you're building something that will outlive you, knowing that the storms you've endured have become the strength others draw from, because when you go from average to fortune, it's not just about taking, it's about giving, about pouring into others. About using your platform, your voice, your journey to remind others that it's possible, that they too can rise, that their scars don't disqualify them, they define them, that their setbacks are not stop signs, but signals to dig deeper. You become the example of what happens when someone refuses to settle. You become the blueprint, the testimony, the force that turns the lights on for those still stuck in the dark, and that legacy, that's real wealth. That's the kind of fortune money can't buy, so don't slow down, don't shrink, don't let up. You've already crossed the line where most people stop. You've stepped into a new realm, a new identity, a new life. And from this day forward, there's only one direction. Forward, keep moving, keep building, keep leading. And if there's one final truth to carry with you, engraved in your heart, pulsing through your veins, it's this: you were always meant for more. Deep down, before the world tried to shrink your dreams, before fear crept in, before the failures ever made you doubt, there was a fire, and that fire never left. It's been waiting waiting for the day you stopped listening to limitations and started answering destiny. That day is now. You don't need anyone's permission to rise. You don't need validation to be relentless. You don't need applause to chase purpose. You are the source. You are the spark. You are the beginning of something that will echo through time, not just because of what you achieve, but because of who you chose to become when quitting would have been easier. You were average once, but now average doesn't recognize you. Because you've walked through fire and didn't burn, you forged, you've stared down doubt and didn't blink. You've rebuilt yourself in silence so you could roar in the light, and nothing, not failure, not pain, not fear, can unmake what you've built inside. This life, this journey, this mission, it's yours. Own it with pride, walk with intensity, speak with certainty, act with conviction, because your fortune doesn't just await. It's already forming around you. And one day, sooner than you think, you'll wake up living the life you used to only dream about, and it won't feel like luck. It will feel like what it is, earned through blood, sweat, persistence, and heart. And when others ask how you did it, when they look for secrets, you'll smile, because the secret isn't a hack. It's not a shortcut. It's not something you find. It's something you become. You are the secret. You are the power. You are the difference between average and fortune. Now go live like it.